Welcome to Manflow Yoga. It's yoga for guys.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Dean from Manflow Yoga. Today I'm going to run you through a flow session which puts a lot of emphasis on your abs. Now this is going to have two effects. The first, you're going to get that shredded look that you're looking for in your abs. And the second, you're going to have a strong core. Now a strong core is going to prevent you from having lower back injuries. It's going to increase your overall power because your center of gravity, all your power comes from here. Whether you're bending down to pick up something, doing squats, twisting your hips for a shot, or if you play hockey, if you play lacrosse, if you play baseball and you're swinging, all your power is going to come from your core. So we're going to give you a strong core from that. Secondly, I want to point out that a lot of people think that if you have really strong abs, then you're going to have a really strong core. Now, your core is from here to here. It's not just your abs. That includes your back. So we're also going to do a lot of stuff with your lower back. When people usually work out, most people will only work out their abs in the front here. So they'll do sit-ups, they'll do, maybe if they're in the gym and they have access to a pull-up bar, they'll do knee to chest, they'll do leg raises, they'll do planks, but they won't do things for lower back. They won't do the bridges that we do. They won't do the wheel, they won't do Cobra. So they end up having only a strong front here. They have strong abs, and they don't have any muscles in their lower back. And that leads to lower back injuries. So people who have running issues, when they go running and they finish and they have lower back pain, it's because you have a weak lower back. If you do golf and after you swing you feel like little tweaks in your lower back, it's because you're too strong in your core and not strong enough in your lower back. So we're going to really work on having balance there. So that means in addition to working solely on your core, on your abs, we're going to work on your lower back too. It's going to take a lot of the stress out of overloading your front, and then when your lower back needs to be strong, it's not going to get hurt because it's overworked. So let's get into it. Today we're going to do poses that we normally do, but I'm just going to put a lot of emphasis on how your core should be feeling. So I'm going to start with a chair pose. So come to the middle of the mat where you feel like, bring your toes together, bring your heels together, bend down a little bit so that you can see your toes, and then arch your lower back. So I'm going to turn sideways for this. Arch your lower back so that there's round here. Squeeze it like you're about to do a squat as you're going down. Make sure this curve stays here. Make sure that you can see your toes under your knees, and then you're going to look up. Bring your arms up, straight up, framing your head with your biceps, and then you're going to turn your core up a little bit and try and use your core to get your body a little higher. And as you do that, you're going to feel that there's a lot more tension in your core now, a lot more tension right here. You're engaged in it. You're taking the weight out of your legs and putting the pressure into your core. It's going to make it easier for you. And then, once you've done that, you really want to try and straighten your back. Try and make it perpendicular with the ground by squeezing your lower back together, getting that curve there. And then reaching up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Forward fold. Come to a ragdoll pose. Just let your body hang here. Feet about 6 inches apart. Let your chest hang into your thighs. Just a little relief right here. Let your lower back relax. Second set chair pose. So again, I'm going to walk you through that one more time. Bring your feet back together. Bend down. Come up. Round your back. Arch your back as much as you can. Bring it to the point that your back is perpendicular with the ground. Reach your arms up, frame your head with your biceps. Squeeze your legs together, and then use your core and try and bring some pressure out of your legs. Try and bring some weight out of your legs and distribute it throughout your body. It's not going to be as hard on your legs, it's because you're trying to put some of the pressure in your core. Make sure that you're turning your core up, make sure that you're arching your back here, and then reaching up. Try to sit back a little deeper. Make sure you've got this bend here. Try and get a little taller, but keep this deep bend. Just use your core and bring yourself up a little bit, just a couple centimeters. 3, 2, 1. Forward fold. Come to a ragdoll again. Let your chest touch your thighs. And then come to your knees. Come to all fours. We'll do some cat cows now. And warm your spine a little bit more. So for cat cow, you're gonna arch your back. So again, that same arch that we were going for, that's gonna create a nice, strong lower back. So hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips, arching your back, squeezing your butt toward your lower back, toward your shoulders, and then turning your head up, breathing in, and then exhaling, the cat, rounding your back, and then inhaling, arching your back. Exhaling, cow, round spine. Inhaling, cow, inhaling to cow, arching your back. Exhaling to cat, rounding your spine. One more. Inhaling to cow, arching your back, squeezing it tight, and then exhaling. Exhaling to cat. One more time. Sorry, I lied. Come to to cow, arching your back, and then keep the same arch in your back. Root your back feet, and then push into a down dog. Spread your hands. Keep that same arch in your back, though. Now, when we go into the other poses, I want you to remember that arched back. That's going to be a recurrent theme. That's going to give you a strong core. Okay. Reach your right leg back and up. Bring it forward. Be framed by your feet. We're going to set up a crescent warrior. So bring your body over your right leg. Engage your core. So squeeze your core. Bring your pelvis up. And then all you're going to do is crank your body up here. Core's already engaged, just like it should be. Knees over your ankle. Your body's straight here. You're not rounded like this. You've got a nice strong core, bringing your pelvis forward. So you're straight. Your upper body is perpendicular with the ground. Core's engaged. And then you're going to reach your arms up. And make sure your core is engaged. So you're trying to pull your body in two directions here. So you're bending down like this at the same time. So you're bending down, trying to get a little deeper in your legs so you get more pressure in your legs. At the same time, you're trying to roll your pelvis in, make your core engage, and come up a little higher. So it's a tug and pull. Make sure that you've got your core engaged here, rolling your core up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your hands to prayer. Root your feet. So root your hands. Bring your right leg back and up. Straight up. Lower down. Bring your left leg up now. And then bring your left leg through to be framed by your hands. And this is another way to get a really strong core. When you're bringing your legs through, squeeze your core as much as you can. Squeeze your knee as close as you can as your body, so that when you come here, you don't have to just kick your leg up. You do it slow and in control. Like that. So make sure you've got a good back foot rooted, straight leg. Start to bring your core forward. Roll your core up, bring your pelvis turning upward, and then instead of coming into it and then fixing yourself, when you come into it now, the core's already engaged, you've got good form already. So pelvis tilted up, core engaged, pulling my body upward. At the same time, I'm sinking deeper into my legs. My core's staying strong, my upper body's staying up and high. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Root your hands again. Bring your left leg off the ground and then all the way back and up. And then let it come to meet your right foot. Now we're going to do this one more time. I'm going to do this from the side now so you can see what I'm talking about from a different angle. With the core engaged, trying to get my upper body perpendicular with the ground. So right leg comes up now. Forward to be framed by your hands. Make sure your back foot's rooted. Bring your pelvis up. Core's engaged already, so that when you come up into this, you've already got good core form here. Core, abs engaged, knee over ankle. And then you're going to reach your arms up and sink down a little bit, making sure that your core is engaged. So if my core is not engaged right here, I'm going to look a little like this. See how I've got my back is kind of leaning forward, core's not strong, all the pressure is going to be my front. Now, when I engage my core, when I turn my pelvis upward, when I bring my core into this and flex my abs, takes the pressure out of my front foot a lot. And it brings it into my back more, and the pressure is also in my abs. So now it's not all on this one leg. So now I've got my abs engaged. Reach my arms up. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your hands. Bring your leg back. I've got limited space here, so I'm just going to go into opposite leg now, so bring your left leg forward. Have it be framed by your hands. Make sure your back foot is rooted. Pelvis turns upward. Whole core engages. Squeeze your abs. And you start to come up slightly. And then just roll back. Core's already engaged, so you've got a nice straight body, straight upper body. And then bring your hands up to frame bring your hands up and your biceps frame your ears. Nice strong core here again. Pelvis turned up, core engaged, core flexed, and then bringing up a little bit, trying to get a little higher in your upper body. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your hands down, frame your foot, lift your left leg up, bring it back, and you're back in down dog. I'm going to do one more warrior pose. We're going to go to warrior 2 now. So bring your right leg up, and your right leg through to be framed by your feet. Sorry, to be framed by your hands. Spin your back foot down 90 degrees. Come up into warrior 2. Knee over ankle. Back foot parallel with the wall, with the back wall and the front wall. Knee over your ankle. Hips open toward the side wall. Now here's where the core comes in. You're going to try to bring your butt under your body. And you're going to bring your pelvis up like this. And you're going to pull your legs together. So squeeze these thighs close together. At the same time, you want to pull pelvis upward. Hips are open toward the side wall. And then sink down a little deeper into your front leg. And remember, scoop your butt under your body, under your torso. Then you've got your core engaged. Make sure that this knee is straight. I'm a little off right here. Make sure this knee is facing toward that wall. Trying to bring this knee toward that wall. Bring your hands up. Shoulder level. Look straight over your middle finger. And make sure that you're continuously rolling your pelvis upward so your core is engaged. And you can come a little higher in your upper body and keep the tight core, keep your tight abs. And that's going to work your core a little more. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten your leg. And let's switch. Let's go the opposite side now. So stick your left foot out. We're not going to flow, we're just going to go straight into it. Make sure that this heel is pointing in a direct line toward the other heel. Start to bend into your front leg. Make sure that your hips are facing the side wall. Pull your legs back if you need to do that. Scoop your butt under your body. Engage your core. And then bring your body so it's perpendicular with the ground. Upper body's perpendicular with the ground. Make sure this knee is opening toward this wall. Make sure your back foot is strong. Hips stay facing toward the side wall. Core comes up. Engaged. Hands come up, shoulder level. And look straight over the middle finger and your left hand. Then come up a little higher. Keep the bend the same in your legs. Just come up a little higher in your upper body, in your core. Five, 4, scoop your butt under your body. It's going to really help engage your core when you turn your pelvis up. 3, 2, 1. Straighten your left leg. Straighten your left leg and then turn your left leg to face side wall. Now this is going to be for your lower back. So you're going to arch your back as much as possible here. Look up. Bring your hands up to the side, and you're going to swan dive forward. Now, as you swan dive, you're going to make sure you keep this arch in your back as long as you can. So this is really good for your hamstrings right here. This is really good for your lower back flexibility. Your hamstrings extend into your lower, they're connected, trust me. Making sure that you have this straight back here, keeping that arch. If it's too much on your hamstrings, you can bend a little bit, bend your knees, and then lower down. Five more breaths here. Make sure that your core is somewhat engaged here. Pulling your body out, pulling your head toward the wall. 3, 2, 1, and then coming back up. And then let's come back to middle. Standing center. And now I'm going to walk you through the vinyasa that I like to do for it's kind of a flow that I made up myself. I'm sure other people have made it up before me. It's a flow that I like to do for my core and for upper body strength as well. So you're going to come to a down dog. You're going to bring your right leg up. Bring your knee to your nose. Bring it back. Bring your knee to your right elbow, squeezing it up, squeezing it tight, as high as you can get it, bringing it back, and bringing your right knee to your left elbow now, and bring it up and back. And then you're going to bring your right knee to meet. And from here you can try the Bakasana, the crow pose, from a down dog position. So you're going to bend your knees, jump, land, and that's one way to do it. Or you can do it from a seated position here, from a squat. And that's you just come here, elbows inside your knees, hands slowly transfer the weight into your hands. And then squeeze your core to help take some of the pressure out of your hands. Keep your knees in your chest. That's one way to do Bakasana. That way, your core is minimally engaged there. Most of the strength there is relying on your triceps to hold triceps, your forearms, and your back to hold yourself up, and shoulders. This other variation, this one's really good for your core. So if you want to get stronger core, this one's really good. This is another variation of Bakasana. Bring your toes up. Bring your heels up. Keep your toes on the ground, and try and bring your knees into your armpits as high as you can. And then you're gonna come forward. And you're gonna use your core strength here to squeeze your knees into your triceps. So you feel this in your core as much as you do in your arms. That one's a little more challenging. It's also very good for your core. Then we're going to go back into the down dog and then switch legs now. Oh, by the way, when we're doing this, the way to get stronger core, the way to get stronger abs, more defined abs here, is to squeeze them as much as possible. So if you're just bringing your leg up here with a weak leg, not squeezing tight, it's not going to be as beneficial. If you're bringing your leg up as high as you can, and when you bring it forward, you're bringing your leg way up here, squeezing tight, you're going to get a lot better results. So bring your leg up as high as you can when you're doing this. Compress your core as much as possible. So now down dog, and left leg comes up, left knee to nose, and back. Knee to elbow. Bring it up really high, and back. Knee to right elbow. Bring it up tight, and back. And then come to Bakasana again, lowering your leg. And if you want, you can try this. It's fun. Jump into it. Straighten your legs, straighten your arms, and then squeeze your legs. Bring your heels to touch. And then when you straighten your arms, you'll find that all the pressure goes into your core, holding your legs up. And then come back. If you want, there's another variation you can do here for your core. I like this one a lot. Come to Bakasana, and then shoot your right leg back. So it's going to look like this. And then you're going to bring it back quick. You can hold it out there. The best way to do this, the best way to have stronger abs, to have a very controlled core, is to do it slowly. So come into it, shoot your right leg back. Don't shoot it back, reach it back. And then bring it back in slowly. And maybe alternate, shoot your left leg up, bring it back, and see how many you can do. Maybe you can get 5 to each side, maybe just 1 or 2. That's another really cool thing to work on from Bakasana to really help your core. So we do 1 more to each side. So bring your right leg up again, knee to nose, back, knee to elbow. Try to bring it up into your armpit, that high. and back. And then the opposite elbow. Bring it up really high. Back. And then try and jump into it again if you want. Or you can just walk into it. Remember, the straighter your arms are, the more emphasis you place on your core when you're in Bakasana. Another cool thing you can do with Bakasana here, if you want to work on getting into a handstand from Bakasana, this is really good for your core. So come here, and then just start to slowly bring your legs off your elbows. So bring your knees off your elbows, and then it's entirely in your core. And then from there, you can eventually extend into a handstand, and it's going to look like this. I can do it. Not happening today, but you can build on that, using your core strength, engaging your core, and then slowly bring them off your legs. That's going to be really good for your core. So that concludes Bakasana and the standing poses. Now we're going to come to our chest. Work on Cobra now. So I usually go over this pretty thoroughly in all my videos. But Cobra, your Cobra is all your lower. Cobra is all your lower body. It's not your upper body pressing into here and using your pecs and your triceps to get your body off the ground. It's you pressing your feet into the ground, and it's you squeezing all the muscles in your legs, and then that extending to your lower back and reaching forward and also up. So you're not just arching your back up, you're bringing your body forward and then coming up slightly. And you feel a tremendous sensation in your lower back there. And once you strengthen your lower back by doing Cobras, you're going to really minimize the injuries that you're seeing in your lower back from running, from doing sports, maybe walking without proper footwear. This is really going to help that. So, Cobra, bring your hands under your shoulders. Press your back feet into the ground. Squeeze all the muscles in your legs so that your knees come off the ground, so that your quads are engaged here. And then slowly peel your chest off the ground. Try and bring it forward. Open your heart up to the front wall, and then come up a little bit. And that same arch in your back that we were going for in cat-cows, when you're going to cow, that same arch that I'm trying to emphasize when we are doing chair pose, you want to have that same arch back here. So squeeze your lower back together, squeeze all the muscles in your legs, and that's going to bring your body off the ground without using any upper body at all. And then lower down. Do one more of those. And try and emphasize the same things that I was talking about before. Just so you hear it one more time. Okay, so your hands are under your shoulders. Your feet are pressing into the ground. Your knees are off the ground because your quads are engaged. You squeeze your butt muscle, you squeeze your thigh muscles, squeeze your calves, squeeze everything, and then arch your back. Peel your chest off the ground, bring it forward, and then bring it up. Press the tops of your toes into the ground. Engage your entire lower body, and then try and get higher, and try and get longer. Try and bring your head to the upper ceiling, facing the opposite wall. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. And then press back into child's pose here. Just some relief for your lower back. So in child's pose, you're going to reach your hands out as far as they can go, and then press into the mat so that your hips are going to go toward your heels, and that's going to provide a little more relief than if you were just sitting here like this. So from here, press. You're going to feel really nice lower back relief. And come back to your chest. We're going to do one more from this position. So we're going to do super yogi now. So this is a little different than Cobra. It's still going to involve you arching your lower back, but we're going to bring our legs off the ground this time so that more emphasis is on just your lower back instead of using all the muscles in your legs to help assist your upper body in coming off the ground. So we do Cobra first because super yogi or Superman is an extension of Cobra. It's the second series, so to speak. So bring your hands out. For now, tops of feet are pressed into the ground. And when you do this, it's the same thing that we were doing with our hands and with our chest. That emphasis in bringing it forward and then up. We're going to do on our legs. So you're going to reach your legs back as far as you can, and then bring them up. Toes are pointed toward the back wall. Legs are still entirely engaged. Everything is flexed in your body at this point. You're trying to bring your hands farther away from your feet farther away from your hands. The only part of your body that's going to be on the ground is your hips, your pubic bone is really going to be your rock here. And you're going to reach forward, you're going to reach back with your feet, toes pointing toward the wall, fingers pointing toward the opposite wall, toward the front wall, and then you're going to try and bring them up higher once you've extended them as far as they can go. And that's really going to do wonders for your lower back here. It's going to give you a very strong lower back. And from a practical standpoint, that means less lower back pain. From a yogi standpoint, that means that you're going to be able to do all those interesting poses that maybe you didn't think you could do. So this is going to lead to a better wheel pose. It's going to lead to being able to do scorpion, which is when you're on your forearms and you come to a handstand and you start bringing your legs forward over your forearms. So this lower back strengthening is really essential for that. So keep that in mind when we're doing this. It's a very intense pose. We're going to hold it for about 30 seconds, or however many seconds it means when I say 5 seconds. So let's do that. Reach your hands out, face down, engage your legs, bring your toes off the ground, reach back, bring your arms off the ground, reach forward. And now when you've got your toes pointing and hands pointing, try and reach up a little bit. Bring your legs up, bring your hands up. Head's looking at the ground, you don't need to bring your neck up. And come a little higher. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, relax. Here you can bring your legs up, bend your knees, windshield your legs back and forth. It's going to help provide a little relief. We're going to do a second set. Not going to be as long as the first set, I promise. So in the second set, I'm not going to count it out. It's going to be 5 breaths. It's going to be about 10 seconds. And I want you to try as hard as you can to extend your body as long as possible, and then try and bring your body up as high as you can. Make the deepest arch you can in your lower back. Bring your hands as high as you can. Bring your legs up as high as you can. And make sure your head stays in line with your body. You don't want to bring your neck up like this. Just keep it in line with your arms, okay? Second set, reach your arms out, legs out. I'm not gonna walk you through this. I'm just gonna say, go. So 3, 2, inhale, exhale, inhale, come up. Make sure you breathe here. Lower down. All right, gonna come to bridge pose now. Push up, maybe come to a quick child's pose here. A little bit of relief, and then spin around. Be on your back now. And we're gonna do bridge, and then we're gonna do 2 more ab exercises. 2 more ab exercises after that. So bridge is really essential for building up to wheel pose. Bridge is, again, this one where your hands come under. We're gonna do this anyway, so I'll walk you through it. Your feet here, you can see my feet. You need to make sure they're not wide. They need to be hip width distance. If you start getting wider and you start arching your lower back, it's not good for your lower back. You want to keep your legs together. You want to make sure that your feet are flat on the ground. That your knees are staying in line with your ankles. You don't want your knees to start opening up and your feet to come off the ground a little bit. You want to stay flat on the ground, knees hip width distance. The weight's going to be on your shoulders, not going to be in your neck. You're going to be bringing your hips up as high as possible. So bringing your pelvic bone as high as you can upward. Hands are going to be interlaced under your body, and you're going to be trying to walk your shoulders as close together. So squeezing your shoulder blades together under your body so you can get higher. So put that all together, and you've got something that looks like this. So bring your feet as close as you can to your butt. Knees and feet are hip width distance. Reach up first, hips come up. Press your feet into the ground. Bring your hands under your body. Bring your shoulders close together. Try and bring your hands to the ground. Squeeze your knees together, and then bring your hips up. Make sure that you're squeezing your knees together here. Ten more breaths here. Trying to reach your hips up. Squeezing your knees together, making sure that your legs are staying flat on, your feet are flat on the ground. Shoulders underneath your body. Weight on your shoulders, not in your lower back. Trying to reach your hips up just a little higher. Getting that arch in your back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Just for a little relief. And we're going to do a second set. Just for a second set, same thing. Your lower body, your legs have a tendency here, when you come up like this, to open up. You make sure that you're squeezing your knees together, that you're keeping your feet flat on the ground here, and that you're trying to recreate that arch that I've been talking about all day in your back. All right, second set. Press your feet down on the ground. Bring your hips off the ground. Knees are in line with your hips. Feet are flat on the ground. Interlace your fingers. Bring your shoulders under your body. And then reach up. Press into your feet. Try and open your heart up as much as possible. Keep your knees squeezing together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down and bring your knees into your chest. this next one we're going to do is a very slow one. You're just going to lower down your abs from a L position. So you're going to be flat on your back. You're going to bring your legs up as high as you can to make them as perpendicular with the ground as you can. If you can't do that, just bring them up to the point that you can while keeping your lower back on the ground. The point of this exercise is to lower your legs slowly, so you're going to have very controlled core strength here. It's not quick. Core strength, I know. The core strength, emphasis on core strength depends on you doing things in a controlled and steady motion. A lot of sports movements, like a jerk press, for example, or a jump, that's a quick motion. Core is different. For core, you want to have slow, steady, controlled movements. That's going to make your core strong. So that same idea is applied here when we're doing this. So slow, steady, in control. And then secondly, you're going to keep your lower back pressed into the ground at all times. When it starts to get here, when your legs start to get here, after they start perpendicular with the ground, that's when it starts to get hard. That's when you have to squeeze your lower back into the ground. That's where you have to start concentrating. The tendency when you get here is to arch your lower back so there's space here. You need to keep it so that there's no space there. That's going to work on your core, that's going to work on your abs, that's also going to work on your lower back strength. So let's do this. We're going to do a 10 count down and then a 10 count back up. It's going to be slow. So bring your legs up, lower back into the ground. Take your hands here if you want. Keep your hands at your side if you want, whatever. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep your feet off the ground. Make sure that your lower back squeezes into the ground, and you're going to come back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring your knees into your chest. Do one more of those. These are a really good one. It's pretty easy. Form is pretty straightforward. So this is a pose that you can work a lot on your own on. It's not like other poses where you really need to know what you're doing or you need to have somebody walking you through it. This pose is very simple. It's just keeping your lower back pressed into the ground. So one more time here. Bring your legs up and a 10 count down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make sure that there's no space here. You should not be able to put your hand under your lower back here. Coming back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then bring your knees into your chest. I'm going to do one more pose. It's called boat pose. To get into this, you're just going to rock back and forth. So a little rolling here on your back. And you're going to come up into a balanced position on your hips. You're going to bring your head up as high as you can. You're going to straighten your lower back. So in order to have a good boat pose here, and this takes a while to get there, so I don't expect you, if you're just starting out, I don't expect you to have a straight back initially. Bringing your chest out, engaging your core. This is a really big part of it. Even though you feel it more, you might initially feel it more in your lower back, you really need to engage your core here to get the right movement. So engaging your core, bringing your body up, trying to have a straight back here. and then sticking your legs out. So bring your body up, core engaged, and bring your hands out. Trying to bring your body higher, pushing back out, lowering down, coming back up, coming back into it, coming right back to where you were. Chest open, head up, core engaged, lower down, back up. Back down, back up. 4 more of these, and up. 1, back down, and up. 2, back down, and up. 3, back down, and up. 4. Cross your legs. Roll over your body, and then press back into a down dog. Alright, well, that's what I wanted to run through with you today. I hope that the emphasis that I placed on your core today is something that you're going to incorporate into your other practices. It's definitely something that if you're on a weightlifting program, if you only do, I know you break it up into let's say front one day, let's say pecs, quads, biceps one day, and then maybe triceps, hamstrings, calves the other day, and then the other day you'll have like shoulders and core. On your core day, you need to make sure that you're including, not just exercises that emphasize the abs in your front. You need to make sure that you're doing stuff that emphasize your lower back strength as well. So, hope you enjoyed that. Try and incorporate that, like I said, incorporate that into your normal routine, incorporate that into your yoga practice, and thank you for watching, and namaste.